Ladies and gentlemen, let me grab my seat here. Hi, how's everybody doing? Hope you had a happy Thanksgiving, a great holiday. This is DJ Sam coming to you from Block Records South and Music and All That Promotions, located in Munster, Indiana. And today is the first installment of a series that I'm doing called Letters to My Mother. These are letters that were written to my mother during my 5 years as an enlistee in the United States Air Force from 1979 to 1984. And last year, these letters were presented to me during a family gathering. Unfortunately, my mother died the year that I separated from the Air Force. In July of 1984, I separated, and my mother got ill around this time of the year. And the day after Christmas, she died. She never returned home from the hospital. So having these letters returned to me last year was really something because it's been such a long time. And so they were given to me in December of last year, and now we're at December of this year, and it's been an entire year, and I have yet to read a letter. So I wanted to do something different, something that would maybe help me a lot, and maybe would help someone else, because it was truly something that I never really recovered from, and I just recently found that out. So I'm going to be reading the first letter today, which is actually a two-part letter. It's a card and a letter. I chose to do this because they are the very first things I sent to her when I enlisted in the military. From then on out, I'm going to have a series of guest family members, friends, some local musicians and artists that I know will be coming in to draw a letter from the basket, because my life's been like a basket case sometimes, and I thought that was an apropos way to choose a letter. We're gonna read the letters, and we're gonna see if we can find out some more about me that I've forgotten. You may be able to identify with something about yourself. Find out about my mom, and we'll go from there. So right now, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to join me as I take the first letter out of the basket, which I want to say wasn't a random draw. I chose this specific letter because these are the first two pieces of mail that I sent to my mother. One is a postcard, and the other is a letter directly related to that postcard that follows. And so join me as I read these right now, and let's see what happened when I first went into the Air Force. When we're first allowed to go and to write a letter, pretty much all you can do is write a postcard. So this is a postcard of Lackland Air Force Base, Texas, where I was, which was the gateway to the Air Force. And this postcard says, at the very top it says, "I'm ready to get out." Get me out, in quotation marks. Dear Mom, I have finally reached the conclusion that military life is not for me. I could do it if I want to, but I feel much better in the open world. Monday, I'm going to talk to the liaison. They may call you. Be prepared to tell them I'm y'all's dependency. I wanted my mother to lie and say I was the only person that she had to depend on. Remember, I put this up here next to the stamp. It's crazy. Remember, you need me at home. My heart is not in it. And I sent this postcard to my mother. So, granted to say, when I got in the first weeks or whatever, I did not feel that I was military material, or that the military was not material for me. So however that went, shortly thereafter, my mother must have said something, because she wrote me a letter in between this postcard and the letter that I'm about to read you. And this letter says, also United States Air Force stationery. It says, excuse me, I'm getting a little bit choked up. It says, I had just received your letter when I had mailed the postcard just minutes before, so disregard it. I'm going to stick with it and do my best. I just needed the extra boost of confidence from you to keep me going. And now that I have it, I can go all the way. I've been praying regularly every night before bed, and I read a passage from grandmother's pamphlets. My grandmother was sending me these pamphlets, words of encouragement, religious pamphlets, things like that. Pamphlets every night before I pray. I've been going to church. I have been to church twice, and I plan to continue to go. Tell Aunt Phyllis, who was one of my favorite aunts, that was my uncle's wife. She's now deceased also. Tell Aunt Phyllis she has to be more careful. And something happened to Aunt Phyllis. I can't recall, but I'm going to try to get a little bit more on that too from one of my sisters or something. And tell the rest of the family I said hello and love them. I think Aunt Phyllis might have been pregnant at the time. Tell the rest of the family I said hello and I love them. This will be the last letter I write because the less I think about home, the more I can press on. It's like, as long as I'm thinking about home, it ain't going to happen. So I need to think less about home and press on more. Love you much, Sam. And on the back it says, P.S. I'll see you all when I get out of tech school, and pray for me. I'll make it. So the United States Air Force, at its inception and my entrance, apparently wasn't the place for me to go, or to be. And for some reason, I just wasn't into it. But I remember the letter that I received from my mother. And it was a very encouraging letter because she had no idea that I had joined the delayed entry program for the Air Force in the junior year of high school. I had no plans to go to college. I knew my mom couldn't afford it. I knew that it would truly be a struggle even for me back then to try and attend college as much as I wanted to go. And I also wanted to be able to help care for my mother. My mother was in a deep struggle, providing for myself and my sisters, and things were going on at the house that weren't totally copacetic with my stepfather at the time. So I wanted to be the man of the house and the king she always called me that she raised. So my plan was to go into the military and to be able to financially support my mother, which I did. And eventually, somewhere down the way, you guys will hear in these letters how I did begin to financially support my mother. So I thank each and every one of you all. That's the first two. That was a postcard and a letter. Join me maybe every other week. I'm going to try and have someone in, and we're going to read a letter and we'll discuss it. If I find out any information on letters that we've read before the next letter reading, then I'll do like an update, like they do in the TV shows. I'll say what we missed was. But I really appreciate all of you all joining me in this. I think this is going to be very therapeutic for me. Hopefully it's going to be very therapeutic for some of you, especially my service brothers and sisters who've gone to the military and maybe lost someone that was very close to them while they were in the military, or immediately after returning home from the military. I mean, it's a place where we go to serve our country and to protect our home front. And a lot of times when we're away protecting our home front, things happen at home that are really, we have no control over. So I love you all. I appreciate you all. Remember, down below, if you're looking at this, subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's my name, Samuel, Samuel, Abraham, Abraham. You Christian folk, if y'all get the spelling wrong, you're going to be in trouble. Junior. Samuel Abraham Jr., YouTube. And remember to tune in to Block Records USA, also on YouTube. Listen to our music. We've got the new single Baby Steps out with the Jays. And my artist New Orleans Bo has a new CD coming out, Booty Bounce. You all should enjoy that. Once again, I want you all to tune in. When you subscribe and you hear that ding, tune in, because that means that there is another letter to my mother coming to you. Thank you so much. God bless. Much success in Jesus' name. Peace.